Worlds Collide. As the old line at GTA, oh shit, here we go again. Now, before I get started, this is being done pretty late in the day. Actually, it's at night now. It's nearly 6 something. The reason that happened, I got insomnia. And because I got insomnia, I don't sleep. So after I did my all out review and I filmed it, edited it, and uploaded, I couldn't sleep until the next, almost into the afternoon here. It's almost 12 when I finally fell asleep. So I slept for maybe 4 hours, maybe, somewhere. And then I started watching the show, and I can finally give you my ideas of it. Let me give it to you like this. Was it good? Yeah, good show. Now, I did not watch the kickoff, so I don't know what happened there. Don't know. But I'm going to tell you not a full review. This is not a very long, lengthy review. I still got to watch Raw. At least try to review Raw because of what happened in Clash of the Castle. And from that, film it, edit it, and upload it. So I'm not doing that in detail. So the first match, the North American Championship, I was looking very forward to that. I wanted to see if they're going to finally drop that strap. I wanted to see if Carmelo Hayes is going to move to the main roster. And let Ricochet hold it so he can go to the main roster with it. And back and forth. That's what I was hoping for. That they still promote it with NXT the way it is. Where it's not doing that well. Because yes, it's still showing signs of what Vince and Bruce had created. If Triple H wants to try and make it better, and particularly with Survivor Series coming around the corner, you must promote it. Why not put the strap or a title on one of the people there and then go from there? So, what did we get? We got a damn good match. I'm not a big high-flying wrestling fan, but I will say because of how they worked, it was very well done. It was. In the end, Carmelo Hayes won. And I'm going, really? Is it because they just, since they're restructuring Raw and SmackDown, they just don't think that Carmelo would be wise to bring up? Or was it because they thought he still wasn't ready? I can't really tell you which one it is. It would be easy to say that it's for the restructuring. They want to wait until they restructure everything good enough that everything will be done. And maybe it'll take a year before he comes up. Or they just believe that he needs maybe another year. And with the problems that's going on in the main roster, where they're trying to recorrect everything, it kind of is a win-win. That could be actually it, but that's just me. But I do believe that Ricochet should have won it. I think it would have been better for the brand if he was going back and forth between, I believe he's on SmackDown and NXT, and he showed that title and defended it on a SmackDown show once in a while. I'm just saying. Not saying that'd be the wisest thing, I'm just saying that it would be something different. Now, the unification match, that is for the Tag Team Championship for the UK and the NXT brand. I had a feeling that Pretty Deadly was going to win. I didn't think Diamond Man was going to win. And I didn't think the original the UK champion was going to win. I wasn't sure about Gallus. Since I've barely seen them, I don't know if they were going to be willing to give it to him, even though NXT Europe is around the corner. And you would think it would be wise to let a couple of Europeans actually win the damn titles to help to get people to believe in it. Would be wiser. No. Now, I don't know if Triple H booked this. I could be wrong. I don't think he did book all of this. He might have booked a couple of things, but this might have stayed exactly as it's been booked by Bruce. I don't know. You guys tell me below what you think. Now, the match I was very curious about. The unification match for the women's title. Now, Meiko Sakamura. She's a very interesting character. Very interesting. When they were doing the match, and they said she had 40 years of experience, I'm going like, what? She don't look like she's 60. Because they showed a clip of her being in WCW when she was 20. Now, I didn't know how old she was, because it's like the third time I've seen her, so I had to go and look her up. And I'm going like, why would they say, she doesn't look 60, she looks good for her age if she was 60. But she's only 42 years old. She's been wrestling since she was 16. She was born in 79. She's slightly younger than my ex-wife. And I'm going like, were they talking about her as an adult, or were they talking about the amount of experience she has as a wrestler? Because the way it sounded, it was experience as a wrestler. Why would someone be stupid enough to say that this woman had 40 years of experience when she's only had 27? Why? If they said on this earth, this 40-year-old woman has experience that is legendary, I could have accepted that easily. But they said 40 years of experience, unless I heard them wrong. You guys tell me below if you even saw it. That's the way it came off. And I'm going to not... Davenport, I didn't think they would give that honor to. No. She's interesting. But no. It was either going to be Mandy or Sakamura. And I really thought Sakamura should have been the one to do it. But, as I said, since we don't know how much of the booking is Triple H and how much of the booking is not Triple H, I believe this was not the booking of Triple H. I think Sakamura should have won it. I'm not saying that she would have been a great character. I'm not saying that she would have been a great role model. I don't know. But I felt because NXT UK is now ending and going to Europe, it would have been good to have at least one of the European champions retain here, not all of the American champions. I'm sorry. Yes, when it came to Pretty Deadly, they are European and they did win, and I do believe that's the wisest thing to do. Yes. But I felt Sakamura as a Japanese wrestler should have won it. I think it would have been alright if she did win it. But they chose to give this to Mandy Rose. Now, I've known that more than a few people think Mandy's ready for the main roster. Many people think that Mandy has not changed one damn bit. Yes, she's still showing the same tits and ass. Her wrestling style is still the same. Why care? For me personally, seeing what little I've seen of Toxic Attraction and her, I felt that she has grown quite a lot. Yes, this was still under Bruce and Triple H. Not Bruce. This is under Bruce and Vince. I'm about to say Triple H. Under Bruce and Vince. Yes. But does that mean they always miss the mark on wrestlers? No. Sometimes they get it right. And Mandy has grown enough as a champion that she looks like she's credible. But was she credible enough to go to the main roster? Or, like I said when it came to Carmelo Hayes, because of the transition that's going on, well, a lot of the booking that Vince and Bruce did, along with Kevin Dunn, now is being transitioned out for what he wants, and he just doesn't want to bring in people that he knows the transition is going to be hurting. That is maybe the reason why she's still NXT champion. That's just me, you guys, tell me below. Now, the NXT and WWE tag team title match. Not unification. That's damn stupid. This was stupid. This made no damn freaking sense. It was not the point of Carter and Chase retaining. And it was a good match. I'm not saying Doudrop and Nikki can't wrestle. They can't. But let's be honest here. Wouldn't it have been better to unify the titles and have one set of women that can go from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT and loop back, which will give fresh feuds for each brand for the main title holders. You don't have to worry so much keeping it on two shows. You now put it on 3 shows where there's plenty of women for the tag champions to go through. Where if you want to know what's going on with Doudrop, you want to know what's going on with Nikki Ash, it would have been good to see NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. That would have been the best case scenario. And if it had been Carter and Chase, at least then you would expose the tag champions to see if they've done very well in the main roster. Can they function on the main roster? And that would have been it. But no, they chose to be, well, WWE tag champions going up to the NXT tag champions. Whoever wins just win it. If NXT wins, they keep their titles. But if they lose, it goes to the ones on the other brands. Why? It was dumb. I'm sorry. Here, finally, the best match of the damn night. And that is the unification match between Braun Breaker and Tyler Bates. Now, the build-up before the match was pretty good. What they did on the last NXT was also good. It felt a little weird seeing everyone giving pep talks to both of them, but it wasn't bad. Before Tyler Bates came out, they showed a montage of him becoming champion when they started UK. When everyone else, like Gunther, like the Dragon, and Bates again winning, and one other, I can't remember who else, pretty much, not Gunther, but actually Walter, pretty much tried to make people feel that the importance of Tyler Bates and that he, the big boy, needed to win because they wanted to maintain at least some form of the UK brand going into, basically, into Europe. And this is where it gets a little difficult for me personally. When you watch the match, Braun may have been an amateur wrestler. Yes, I believe he was. Braun has been doing decently well on the main NXT roster. Pretty alright. He does have good ring work. Not perfect, but for a really big guy, cock diesel like this and going like this, it makes sense the way he works. But if you really wanted to make this important for NXT Europe, you needed Tyler Bates to win here. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that the UK brand was better. I'm talking about WWE starting up a new brand and closing down the old one. The old one was done once the pandemic the pandemic is still kind of messed up in Europe, but they decided to shut down the UK brand because they wanted to branch out to not just the UK. They wanted to go to France, probably Germany, probably Bulgaria. Well, not. Why not for a Miro? For Austria, for Lithuania. Maybe they want to travel throughout the country for NXT Europe and try to build the brand that way. Instead of just leaving for the UK, it'll go everywhere. That's what it looks like. Not much different in America. And it would have been better if Tyler Bates had been an inaugural one. I truly believe that. Having Braun Breaker, who's only been in the business roughly in NXT for a year, yes, they will prop him up and make him feel important. But do I believe Tyler Banks would have been a better choice? Yes. It's not just because he's more seasoned, because he's been doing it since he was 15. He just has that certain attitude that he understands what it's like in Europe. Tyler Banks would have been the better choice here. He would have been the wisest choice here. But in the end, he was not chosen. Now, could that be because Triple H wasn't the one who booked it? Probably so. Because Triple H didn't book absolutely everything. He's only done slight adjustment. He's done adjustments to Raw. He's done adjustments for SmackDown. And I think he's done subtle adjustments for NXT. Has not really focused a lot on NXT because many people has obviously seen that NXT has not been good. It's still pretty much acting as Bruce or Vince was still there with a couple of changes, a little bit. And yes, Tony D'Angelo trying to bring in try to bring in Cameron Grimes on his side because Phantasmo ain't there no more. I can understand, but it is still how Bruce and Vince booked it. The question's going to be when they go into the Europe aspect of NXT now, since they're there already, does this mean that Triple H's booking will now become apparent? Will finally NXT will start looking like it was supposed to be as far as anyone else is concerned? I'm just saying. And I hope you enjoyed this. I have a Gump report I'm going to film. After this, I'm going to film it. And that will be talking about what happened in All Out and what CM Punk talked about. I don't know if you're going to want to see it, but I'm going to film it right after this. It might not be very long. But it was a good show. Was it better than All Out? No. But it was good. Peace.